this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome, and happy Monday night. It is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are here for Zero to Shero. But we have so many amazing announcements, so many things to share. But first, let me be the person to tell you, Happy New Year. If you have not heard someone say that yet to you, I want to be the first to give you a very loving, very optimistic, and enthusiastic Happy New Year. Now, you guys know we are a terrestrial radio station. You can tune into us at 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. But in addition to that, we also live stream on Facebook, on Periscope, and on YouTube. So we're going to handle our social media fans first, and we're going to go ahead. If you are watching via social media, you know what we all do? We always share, because sharing is caring. So I want you to take a look at your phone, at your iPad, at your computer, and hit that share button at the bottom of your screen. I'm doing the same thing. Let's share this out, because we have some amazing announcements that we definitely want to get out there. And someone on your timeline, yes, someone on your timeline may need it to hear this message right on time. And so as we are loading and as we are doing that, I want to get started. As you guys see, the title of this show is From Failure to International Stage. From failure to international stage. And the reality is, you guys, that story is not something I'm reading about, I'm thinking about, but it's something that I've had to experience myself. And I want to tell you that there is beauty in failure. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are a professional, whether you're just a straight hustler, there is a beauty in failure. There is always a silver lining in whatever cloud that you may be experiencing in this time. And earlier today, I had the absolute pleasure to actually make a huge announcement. So before I get into the huge announcement and also talk about what New Year's changes are happening for the show, I want to say and introduce myself to the people who are seeing me and hearing me for the first time. Hello, everyone. I am Ann Charlius of Shero Rising. My clients call me the mogul maker, the wealth creator, the queen of cash flow. I help entrepreneurs grow their cash flow, grow their revenue so they can soar. And you may be thinking, well, what makes you qualified for that? And I think that's a great question, because we live in a day and age where everyone is claiming to be a coach of some type. Everyone is claiming to know about business. But listen, not only am I experienced, trained, and educated on the topic, I tell people all the time, it's in my blood. I am the child of two entrepreneurs who ran businesses my whole life. In addition to that, I'm the former director of legal and public affairs for the Minority Chamber of Commerce, where I represented over 5,000 businesses, everything from the startup, the bootstrapper, the mom and pop, all the way up to the Florida Marlins professional baseball team. In addition to that, I was the former director of affiliate marketing for the third largest affiliate marketing platform in the world. And so for me as an entrepreneur, as a business coach, the last year and 4 months has been amazing. So that tells you a little bit about me. So let's jump in today's topic, because today's topic is really important. And the reason it's important is because a lot of times people will see your after picture and not understand the steps that you had to take to get to that after picture, right? So let's talk about diet, okay? Everyone wants that six pack, But listen, do you understand that the person that has the six pack, they're doing a little extra, right? They're working out, they're eating really clean, they're drinking probably a gallon or more of water per day. You can't get the results of the six pack even with medical intervention, okay, you cannot get the results of the six pack if you do not do something on your part. And the same is true in your business. In order to succeed in business, in order to fly in business, in order to continuously elevate your revenue, your cash flow, you too have to do best practices. And one of those best practices is actually starting with your mind. Yes, in between your ears, your mind, your brain, you got to start there. And today I wanted to talk about what we're doing in Asia, the impact we're going to hopefully make, what we will make in Asia. But I want you to know what steps took me there. Number one, I am very actively, when I say actively, probably proactively, removing naysayers out of my life. If you are an entrepreneur, you are building a vision. That vision sometimes will feel lonely. You will feel by yourself. And so as a result, you cannot have naysayers around you. You have to begin. You have to begin from a place of removing those naysayers out of your life. Those people that no matter what you're working on, no matter what you're doing, they're beating you down. They're telling you you're not qualified. They're telling you that you can't do it. They're telling you that the odds are against you. I am a living testament, and I talk about my story not to impress you, but to express to you that if this can happen for me, it can happen for you. So evict the naysayers out of your life. Next thing is those dream stealers. Now you may say, well, Ann, you just talked about naysayers. What's the difference between a naysayer and dream stealers? Listen, the naysayers are just going to be straight up negative. The dream stealers, oh no, they're going to be straight up disrespectful, okay? They're going to really call you out of your name. They're going to say that you're not good enough. They may call you a name. So let me give you an example of that. So the naysayer is just going to say, well, you know what? There's too many business coaches out there. You know what? There's too many loan officers out there. There's too many credit repair people out there. There are too many franchise companies out there. There are too many burger joints out there. See, that's just the naysayer. They're just going to straight up be negative. The dream stealers elevate that to a real disrespectful, basically abusive level of communication. You know, they're going to make statements like, your daddy didn't do anything with their life, so you ain't going to do anything with your life. The dream stealers are going to say, you know what? You had a baby as a teen mom. You ain't going to do nothing with your life. They're going to say things to you that really grabs at your soul and makes you think it's a lost cause. Now, those people need to get the EFF out of your life. Those people, you need to hand eviction slips. Let me tell you something. At the start of the year, I protect my month of January like my life depended on it, because I do believe our lives depend on it. The way you set up your year, I do believe fervently in my heart that it is how your year will go. Can you change? Obviously, yes. But in life, as human beings, once that locomotion gets started, it's hard to change it. And so in the month of January, you need to pass out eviction notices. What that means, if you're going through your timeline on Instagram, on Facebook, and you see someone on your timeline that is nothing but negative, they're posting fights, they're posting twerking, they're only posting political messages, simply unfollow them. Guess what? You see the cell phone right here? This cell phone right here? Most smartphones have an ability for you to put a telephone number on auto reject. What does that mean? If you have complainers that have your number, negative people who have your number, bloop, 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 put them on that auto rejection list. They can see their way into your voicemail. And listen, I even do that for family members because listen, some of us, our worst enemies and critics are family members. And so it's incredibly important that you remove those people out of your life. The next thing is listen, forget about pedigree. What do I mean? It doesn't matter who your parents were, who your ancestors were. It doesn't matter that you don't have the pedigree, the education. This is why I love entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship, all that pedigree means nothing. It's about performance and results. Because you're not doing a job application for anyone. You're hiring yourself as an entrepreneur. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a college degree. Now, I have a law degree, so obviously I'm an advocate for education. But I also believe that you don't have to say that because I don't have an education, I should not live my dream. I should not live my vision. I should not live the purpose in my life. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, guys, that you don't need to have a pedigree, that you don't need to have permission because of a degree, because of a certification. The next thing that I've done in the past year, and the reason why I'm going through this list is you guys have been straight up in my DM. You have been messaging me all day, asking me questions about my trip. How do I get it? So on and so forth. And so I wanted to take this time as an opportunity to really share some golden nuggets, some golden bricks, so that you can see that, you know what, it is a process and it does start with your mind. The next thing is get out of your comfort zone. I have a colleague, Wendy Alexander, who is from North Carolina, who does a lot of work in Dubai. She says, get out of your zip code. Far too many of us, the reason why you're not growing, the reason why you're not thriving is because you are not getting out of your zip code. You are stuck in a place that's not giving you life, that's not feeding you. And so definitely get out of your comfort zone. And then, for most people, and I've spoken to thousands of entrepreneurs this year. In fact, I've done over 110 business training sessions last year, reaching over 30,000 entrepreneurs and on people who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs. And guess what? Time and time again, I have found that the self-talk, they usually are their worst enemy. They usually are saying things in their mind that other people are not even thinking about. They're sharing information to themselves, not audibly where they can hear it, but in your mind. Like, for example, ladies looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I'm just not pretty today. That's negative self-talk. Now, I'm not saying that I'm 100% free of this because, listen, I'm human. But when it pops up in my head, I actively shut it down. Just like if a troll, a bully was verbally telling me something negative about myself, how I would tell them to shut up and nobody needs your opinion. Some of us need to do it to ourselves. Some of us need to tell ourselves to shut up. Don't want to hear that. And so that is so important. And then the final lesson that I want to share is, as entrepreneurs, you guys, you have to show up. You cannot build $1 million business if you're on a 6-figure work ethic. Did you hear that? You cannot build $1 million business on a 6-figure work ethic. This year, I had to say to myself, when looking at my past year, last year I wanted to have $1 million year. I fell short. But I also had to take a look in the mirror and realize that I didn't work like I was working for my $1 million year. I wasn't hungry like this was going to be my last meal. I wasn't thirsty like I was in the middle of the desert. So it is incredibly important that you really show up like you're working for what your goal is. At this time, I want to share an amazing announcement, one of many, many to come. It is now 9:45 p.m., 9:45 p.m., and we this month are going to have a very special guest that's going to really share the importance of the mind body connection. It is Dr. Franz from Extreme Healing and Acupuncture. He's going to be on later on this month sharing about the healing power and the mind body spirit connection as it pertains to Oriental medicine, as it pertains to things like acupuncture and cupping. And we have their telephone number right now that is going to appear on the screen. Freddie, if you can do me a favor and pull that up and post it on the screen so that we can do a quick commercial break. And so as that pops up, I want to know, what if you're watching us via social media, I want you to please post what your New Year's goals are. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's so passe. That is it. Extreme Healing Acupuncture. Now, listen, are you suffering from pain? Are you suffering from chronic illness that medications are simply not improving? Now, acupuncture may just be what the doctor ordered. Acupuncture has been used for thousands of years for healing both the mind, the body, and the spirit. If you are interested in learning more about acupuncture, we have a special discount code. The code is VIP. You can contact the doctors at Extreme Healing and Acupuncture. The number is 754-703-7862. That's 754-703-7862. Contact the doctors at Extreme Healing and Acupuncture. I'm going to tell you, the head doctor, Dr. Franz, is a world-class Oriental medicine doctor who has practiced literally all over the world, from Europe to the Caribbean and more. You don't have to suffer any longer. Tonight's discussion really has been about freeing your mind, but you do not have to suffer anymore. And if you call that number, you will get a 50% discount off your first service of acupuncture, which is amazing. Simply use the code VIP. That's VIP. And the number is 754-703-7862. Once again, that's 754-703-7862. Listen, it's the new year. We've seen the memes. New year, new me. So this is your time to try something new and really take care of yourself. Put yourself first. And in fact, I don't know if you have a word for the year, but every year, at least starting last year, I always choose a word of the year. Last year, my word was really a phrase because, I'm Ann Charlius of Shero Rising. I got to do something a little different. I use the phrase, I am. And I have to say that was a year of I am for me. A lot of firsts, a lot of amazing experiences. Check me out on Facebook at Shero Rising, on Instagram at Shero Rising. You'll see the flashbacks to this amazing year. But this year, my word is fly now. And we'll talk about the fly part. The fly part is first love yourself. And so getting help, getting healing through acupuncture is a great way for you to love on yourself and really hopefully get healed from what's ailing you. And so if you are watching via social media, type in the comment box what your word is. I have found it extremely powerful because it centers me. It reminds me in moments where I'm nervous. I know a lot of you are like, and you're so confident. And how can you be nervous? You know what? The reality is, I do get nervous. I do get afraid. And as of a result of that, having a word that I can go to almost as a mantra, almost as a motivation is phenomenal. And so for me, last year was I am. This year, I'm choosing fly, which is first love myself. It's so important. First love yourself because, oftentimes as an entrepreneur, our business is our baby. That is what our focus is. And the reality is we sometimes put ourselves at a back burner. But if you're not there in health, in mind, in body, how can you be there for your business? So, so important. So now it's story time with the 10 minutes that are remaining. Let's do some story time because a lot of people was in my inbox and my DM telling me and asking me, Ann, how is it that you're going on this trip? Give us more information about this trip. And I'm going to tell you that truly it was not planned by me. It was planned by the divine, okay? I cannot take credit for it. Here is the thing. Remember what I said earlier about it's so important as an entrepreneur for you to show up, for you to be confident. Last year, I decided that I wanted to collaborate with my former university where I went to law school. And so I decided, you know what? I'm not going to fart around on this subject, lack of a better word. I am just going to go straight to the top and I'm going to call the university president. And that's exactly what I did. And so I called the university president back during the summer, but he was on summer vacation. Upon his return, he scheduled an appointment. The appointment was weeks away. Long story short, we did finally get an appointment, and I walked in and I shared from a place of gratitude what the university has meant to me in my life and the impact my training and tutelage there has allowed me to do. And he was so compelled after hearing my message, he referred me to the School of Business. And at the School of Business, I was able to be on the board for Global Entrepreneurship Week and be a panelist during Global Entrepreneurship Week. This is an entrepreneurship week that is celebrated all over the world. It's really a nod to entrepreneurs who are innovators, who are building and making jobs for their communities. And so global entrepreneurship was amazing. I was a panelist and obviously, I tell you to show up. I decided that day when I got there that I was going to show up and show out. I was going to pour golden nuggets of information to this audience, that I was going to be as transparent as possible and really give true, raw advice from the heart. Unbeknownst to me, there was a woman sitting in the audience whose husband is a major player in cryptocurrency. She was inspired by my story. That's why I tell you, you have to show up and show out because you never know when opportunity is going to knock. Remember what Oprah Winfrey said. There's no such thing as luck. It is preparation meeting opportunity. And so she went home, was excited, and told her husband all about me. And the following day, he came to find this person who was an amazing speaker, as his wife said. Now, I almost didn't make it for the actual festivities for the second day. Because I was so tired from the previous day, and I know for my entrepreneurs who have full-time jobs also, sometimes it's very difficult and you think, I can't go to that social event. I'm too tired. And I was feeling like that. And I really was on the verge of doing it. In fact, I was such on the verge of doing it. I text that I may not be able to attend the second day. But last minute, I decided, you know what? Tired or not, I'm going to go. And so I went. And I sat in the audience listening to Dan Kane, an amazing entrepreneur who sold Blackboard, a business he founded for 1 billion with a B, billion dollars. And at the end of his talk, I talked to him, asked him a couple of questions, took a picture with him. And then a person approached me and explained how his wife really enjoyed, really was inspired, and he would like me to be a speaker at an international conference on cryptocurrency, talking about fintech, entrepreneurship, and really be inspiration to the audience. I couldn't believe it. I'm being honest, I couldn't believe it. Long story short, this week, Thursday, I will be boarding a plane to really go on a trip of a lifetime that has been paid for by someone else, and to meet entrepreneurs, investors, venture capitalists, movers, shakers, and doers in the countries of Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. In addition, I have business meetings set up for Dubai, where I'm going to potentially be partnering with some companies there. The reality is, this girl that you're looking at, who about a year and 5 months ago had one of her biggest public failures, is now becoming an international speaker. And once again, I say that to tell you that you can dream big. That your background, your pedigree, what the dream stealers and naysayers say to you, that means nothing. Absolutely nothing. That you can design a life and a future that you can be proud of. That you can say to yourself that maybe I didn't show up for my vision before. Maybe I didn't walk in confidently believing that I'm the best of the best. But in this moment, right now, you can choose to make the change. You can choose to be the person that you were designed to be. Tonight's episode is very, very special. We would like to thank the team at Extreme Healing and Acupuncture for sponsoring tonight's show. You can always reach them at 754-703-7862. If you are not following me, I want you to go on Facebook. I want you to go on Instagram. I want you to go on Twitter and Periscope and YouTube and follow me, Shero Rising, on all social media. That's SHERO, second word, rising. That's RISING. Now, final announcement, so much. It's New Year, so it's announcement time. Listen, we are streamlining and consolidating so that we can grow. Zero to Shero, which is a platform that we created to highlight outstanding powerhouse female entrepreneurs, and our Tuesday night show, the Power Biz Hour, is consolidating. We are merging so that we can serve you better in 2018. We have new opportunities that are going to be available for entrepreneurs to share their story, to share the impact that they're making in the community. And we have new sponsors that are on the horizon. So it is exciting. If you know an entrepreneur that would make a great guest or a great advertiser or sponsor, drop their name or company name in the comment box or connect with me on social media. Tonight was Zero to Shero, but as you know, moving forward, we're going to consolidate Zero to Shero and the Power Biz Hour. We are so excited. We will see you next week. Now, I will have a guest here filling in for me. However, I will be here the following week. And I'll bring pictures and stories from Anne taking over Asia, right? You guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237.